Well, good morning, everybody. As Leanne said, my name is Peter Brake. I am the Director of Technical Development at Collier Mosquito Control District in Southwest Florida. I saw a potential use for unmanned aerial systems, also known as drones in mosquito control for application of material and for real-time habitat inspections in early 2016, but we started mapping around mid-2018 due to some organizational changes within our district. The district was the first organization in the state of Florida to get authorization to dispense material from the drones shortly thereafter. So, is my slide progressing?
Nope, it's not. We're still on your first slide. Oh, there we go. It caught up.
Collier County is located in the Southwest Florida, surrounded by 5 counties in the Gulf of Mexico. The county is over 2,300 square miles, and just over 1,500 square miles of that is protected land from either state or federal lands. And we want to treat the area as best we can with the growing population that border the district. Collier County is over the double area of Rhode Island. Currently, there are around 380,000 full-time residents in Collier County, and will increase an additional 80,000 people in the winter. The district is founded in 1950 with 6 square miles. We are now over 400 square miles and operating with a $27 million budget. Tourism is a big part of our industry in Southwest Florida, and over 2 million visitors in 2018 spent over $1.5 billion. So mosquito control is essential in this area. So how do we do this? Well, our main platform for treatments consists of 3 Skyvans, 1 Battle 7, and 3 MD-500 helicopters. The Skyvans are strictly for adult sighting, and with a large volume tank holding enough material for around 37,000 acres at less than half an ounce per acre. 2 helicopters for our granular lab sighting applications in areas around 50 to 750 acres, and are useful for small areas of salt marsh and mangrove areas for the adult sighting role. We have 8 full-time pilots and 7 field technicians. But our current fleet for drones, we have a very diverse fleet of drones, with each one completing a very unique task. We have 1 Mitsu 600 or PV-13. That's an application drone that can carry 13 pounds of material. The Phantom 4 NDVI has a camera filter, and that red filter is used for mapping of areas that we need to get a true NDVI. I'll explain it a little bit more later on. 1 Splash drone is a waterproof drone that has a camera underneath for inspection under the water, fish, larvae. We can see that through the camera underneath. 1 Quantum System Serenity. It's used for mapping only, as it's got a 20 megapixel camera that points down. This is only a fixed wing drone that we have, but it still can take off vertically like the other drones, so it's good for tight areas. And of course, we have 3 Mavic Pro Platinums. We use those for inspection and mapping. The total cost for the program is around $68,000. It might seem like a lot, but for a large segment of IPM, we can treat material in needed areas with all but 1 drone, and that would be the Trinity SS, again for mapping only. Our drone program is designed for areas between 5 and 50 acres. Our manned helicopters can treat areas over 50 acres easily, and below 5 acres we use our ground-based platforms. The Mavic Pro Platinum is the main workhorse of the district, doing most of the mapping, habitat inspection, and leading to an increase in efficiency in the field. These are operated by using a controller and a tablet interface to see what the drone sees in real time. We are working with putting information from the drones in FieldSeeker, and the operations team can see the pictures of the wetland areas once uploaded. These can make our technicians' time more efficient, as they have a capability to see if the area is wet before trekking through the woods into the habitat, along with other snakes, spiders, and other things that wouldn't be good for them. These can be set up in a couple of minutes. We have used the Mavics at night for information to put into our guidance system on our manned aircraft when conducting testing or treatment in the areas that we don't have a wind tower at 300 feet. And the drone automatically calculates the pitch and roll inputs needed to maintain a constant position, and that can be read in other software and then sent to the pilots. The Mavics can also provide a different sort of NDVI data called VARI, or Visible Atmospherically Resistant Index. And while it's not a true NDVI, the differences are minimal if you're going to set up a drone program. I can send the information later if desired. The content information will be at the end of the presentation. So the Mavic Pro is essential in increasing mapping capabilities by getting real-time information in these areas. These drones offer higher resolution than Google Earth, as it's collecting its images from 300 feet as opposed to the 22 miles from Google Earth satellites. There are some limitations if you're doing large areas, with heat being the biggest factor in the middle of the day with the tablets overheating, which is why we have the next drone. The quantum systems Trinity is mainly used for larger areas, over 100 acres usually. The flight software is installed on a laptop or PC and uploaded to the aircraft, and because it operates under a different controller, it can fly longer, making the mapping process more efficient without heat being a factor for the aircraft or controller. Like I said, it takes off vertically, and once it's reached its assigned altitude, the propellers on the wings transit forward and shut down, and the one under the tail there actually propels the whole aircraft for the whole 90 minutes. So we get a lot of flight time. But with a 7.5 foot wingspan, again, it can get into, it's designed for large areas, so we want to minimize the clearances with the trees. This area was flown with the Trinity. It allows us to get large areas mapped out, not only more efficiently, but quicker than Mavic Pro drones. The picture in the blue border is the area that is flown. The yellow is as it is flying, and the red is the final product with a 12-minute flight time. So we get a lot more accurate pictures of areas. In here you can see the aquatic weeds and the canals. Over time, it's going to be good for mapping out new areas and get consistent mapping. The Phantom 4 has the NDVI camera. Again, NDVI is Normalized Differential Vegetation Index, and it measures the level of chlorophyll in the trees in areas of dead or dying habitat. Mangrove eggs are usually found where the red and green areas meet. The red or indicates die or dead, dried, or flooded grounds without vegetation. The green area indicates the green, healthy plants, and it's good to show that transition as we can do our process of eggshelling in those areas to find out when most of the ATC rinkers will lay their eggs. Mavics help us to get in these areas that are dangerous by helicopter or inaccessible by foot. Originally, our manned aircraft rely on Google Earth images. Soon to be Field Seeker, we produce the file format that we need. The Google Earth has information that was 12 to 18 months out of date. With this area, one of our common treatment areas in our pre-treat schedule, and we usually treat this area 3 times per year. One flight from the drone and other research work, such as the eggshelling, we verified that this block can be reduced by 87 acres. And at our current rate of £8 per acre, it saved almost $11,000 in one mission and over $32,000 for the year in this one area. We have somewhere between 100 to 150 blocks in our district currently. So the process for stitching all this together is Drone Deploy. This is a program that can give you the data when the tablet's connected to the controller. It plans the flight, tells the drone to take off, fly the intended route, taking many pictures and lands. Once you have all the pictures, it's uploaded to the website. In a couple of hours, you have the final product, which is the map. And with that map, we can determine whether we want the 2D map or a 3D model, which is good for elevation, and of course, the VARI aspect, or the NDVI aspect as well. And once the map is generated, I can export that as a KML or KMZ to turn into our AgNav system or our Field Seeker system to convert that into a map for our lab sighting blocks. With our Matrice 600 PV13, these are many completed by this base platform. The drone can apply liquid lab setting with about 13 pounds of material, and it gives about 5 minutes of spray time with our current flow rates. In the adult setting role, we can treat about 200 gallons, 200 acres per tank in the adult setting role. And with the same aircraft, I can transfer the granular application kits in about 5 minutes. This also dispenses about 13 pounds of material, which is the max capacity of the Matrice 600. We have an application rate of 8 parts per acre, so we're often reloading after 1.5 acres. This drone is best suited for liquid and granular applications in urban environments where the aircraft will present safety risk or noise complaints but we can also use the drone for adults in role where it would be too small to complete by manned aircraft, and it is then uploaded into Field Seeker to see the application for our records. We're looking at purchasing a bigger drone here, and it should be arriving in the next couple of days, weeks, and it will effectively double our capacity. So instead of the 13 pounds, we'll get nearly 24 pounds worth of material. So drones offer a safety aspect as well. In this slide, the area on the left shows an helicopter application, and the lines in yellow are the aircraft flight lines. And as you can see in the left side picture, the pilot has to fly between the buildings as they do not have time to climb over the 300-foot residential towers. With this, we get a high number of both noise and safety complaints from out-of-town residents not knowing what we do. With the drone applications, we stay over the intended area of treatment and can reach out to the public and communicate with the members of what we are doing as they drive by. The downside is, again, it's such a small airframe, we don't have the payload, but we have the ability to only go over the habitat and a minimal noise footprint in the areas. Drones complete many roles to assist in mosquito control programs in all departments, and it's a very effective role and tool in the IPM or IMM, and in a floatable way, gathering vast amount of data. We have many published papers out, both in JMCA and in Wingbeats. Look out for those. And with that, are there any questions?